Hi, it's Vicky Falcone with another edition of your weekly Heal from the Affair blog. Well, I was a very spiritual person until the day I learned about my husband's affair. Years of personal growth and spiritual practices had led me to be a very centered, loving, happy person right up until that day. Well, as it turns out, nothing can quite prepare us for the intense pain that comes after learning that the one you loved, the one who promised to love and cherish you, had betrayed you. And I was deeply, deeply hurt and racked with grief. I lashed out at my husband with levels of anger that frightened me. My depression eventually landed me in bed over 20 hours a day, and my thoughts tormented me. I broke my own heart over and over with some version of I'm not enough. I felt like a failure, and my spirituality felt like it had failed me. Well, after months of watching me suffer, my family and friends recommended that I seek professional help, which was a great idea. So I did that. So I went to a therapist, and then another therapist, and then another, and all total 4 therapists. And they were helpful to a point. They each provided me some valuable insights, but none were able to help me truly end my pain and suffering. Well, in one of my more lucid moments, I knew I had to do something different. And it was about that time I began to look into master's programs in psychology. A good friend of mine suggested a program that had a master's degree in spiritual psychology, which intrigued me. And within the month, it resonated so much that I was enrolled and on my way to one of the most profound transformations of my life. I had found a spiritual solution. Over the next 2 years, I would apply the skills and practices I learned to my previously unrelenting suffering. The program focused on 4 areas: emotional, mental, physical, and spiritual, of course. And 2 of these 4 had not been addressed by any of my therapists. The therapists really had only focused on mental and emotional, which I said was helpful to a point. But as I look back, I realized their interventions were things like they would say, you've got to let go, you've got to move on, which I totally agreed with. One of the therapist's favorite chant to me was, you must lay down the blame sword. Well, I completely agreed, but she didn't really tell me how to do that. Spiritual psychology did. Spiritual psychology is the study and practice of conscious awakening. In the program I attended, people from all faiths came together to learn the tools of spirituality to heal their past wounds, to remove the barriers to becoming more loving with ourselves and others. So not only did I find an extraordinarily effective way to end my suffering, I found a way to turn a truly devastating event into a major awakening. As of today, it's been over 10 years since I uttered any kind of bitter words or anger toward my former husband. My anger is gone. My upset is gone. Nil, none. Well, the fastest way I know is to embrace the spiritual solution to your suffering. And in addition to, of course, the mental, the physical, and emotional. That's why the Heal from the Affair programs all include all 4. I know this. You too can fully recover from the heartbreak of an affair and move on to create a new life. A life that, though it may sound hard to believe right now, can be significantly better than the life you had before the affair. Until next time, remember, you are smoking hot.